how do I start this show?
You say hello.
Hello.
And all I could say was, hello.
Hello. We're here. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of HBO Max. I am your host, Makenna. Joining me, as always, is Brandon. Brandon, how are you today?
Oof. Tough Chelsea loss today, Makenna.
Dude, my
tough
gut.
loss.
I don't... we got to go through another week before we have another match. We got to wallow in this, and it's going to be a rough week.
It's tough.
It's tough.
But everything else is pretty good, so.
That's good. I'm happy. That's good. Sports. And joining us, very special guest. It is CaitRose. Hello, Cait. Welcome to the show.
Hi. Oh my gosh, thank you for having me.
Yes,
I'm doing great. I just finished watching Sleepless in Seattle like an hour ago, so it is fresh.
Oh, it's fresh. Yes.
Not my first time though. Probably
Of course.
easily like at least the 10th time I've probably watched this movie in my lifespan.
Aww.
So
That's
yeah.
so
last
exciting.
night I told my mom, I was like, I had to watch Sleepless in Seattle for a podcast. And I was like, I haven't seen it in, I probably haven't seen it in like 10 years or whatever. And she's like, oh yeah, I've seen that movie like 1,000 times. It goes like this. And then she just did the entire plot of Sleepless in Seattle. And I was like, yeah, you've seen that movie a lot. I was like, yeah.
We should have had your mom one then.
Oh man.
No, we don't want that.
Mama Ruckus special guest.
Oh my
When?
god.
Trust me, you guys don't want that.
Listen.
I don't know. I tune in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would remember the intro if she was here.
Yeah.
But yes, we watched Sleepless in Seattle, which is great. This is the second time I've seen it. I watched it sometime in the last year. I don't remember when exactly. I watched it right around when I watched When Harry Met Sally. And they sort of crisscrossed in my mind. I was like, when does this part? Oh no, that's the other movie. But it's fine.
See, this one for me, You've Got Mail in this one. I mix up.
Oh, right, because it's both Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan, isn't it?
Yeah. This movie is part of two different trilogies, right?
Oh,
It's part of the Tom Hanks Meg Ryan trilogy, right? Which is Joe versus the Volcano, Sleepless in Seattle, You Got Mail. But it is also part of the Meg Ryan Nora Ephron trilogy, which is When Harry Met Sally, Sleepless in Seattle, You've Got Mail.
Interesting.
Can I just say that originally talking to Jose about being a guest on this podcast, I wanted to do You've Got Mail.
Mm-hmm.
And literally, like, as of a week ago, it was still on HBO Max. And then 2 days ago, not on anymore.
Yeah,
That's so
Just
peek
vanished.
behind the curtain of how this works. I keep like a Google Doc of like people who should be on the show and movies I know they like that are on HBO Max. And so Cait's been there on the list. You've Got Mail. I know that's her favorite movie. And so I was like, well, let's try to get Cait on. You've Got Mail. We'll do that. It was on my list on HBO Max. I looked at it last week. I was going to watch the movie. And then, yeah, it just out of nowhere just went away.
It's on Hulu
I
now,
added
apparently.
HBO Max on Twitter and said, how could you get rid of You've Got Mail right now? It is the perfect autumn movie. And we're about to get into September. Like, how?
So
like, it makes no sense.
So we should
makes
probably
no
talk
sense.
about this for a second, because I'm sure there are some people who listen to this who are going to have some questions. HBO Max is going to go away pretty soon-ish. It's not going to be a
Wait, what?
streaming service anymore. Yeah, so if you're listening to this and somehow don't know about it, Discovery purchased HBO and all that whole parent company. So that's owned by Discovery. Their library is getting folded into the Discovery Plus streaming service. And so over the last couple weeks, stuff's just been getting deleted off of HBO Max like crazy. The content library is going way down. So the conceit of the podcast is gonna have to change. For the next couple months, we're sticking to we're reviewing movies on HBO Max, but eventually we are going to get to the point where we're just going to start reviewing whatever the fuck we want.
So I have a question. This
Okay.
is turning into a production meeting now. So we're keeping the name, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, cool.
No,
So
we are
does
going to be the only HBO Max in town.
Okay, cool. When does the copyright for HBO Max with an X run out? Do we know that? Should I message Mike? How do I figure
You
that
should. You should hit up Mike Larkey and see what we have to do to get that.
out?
Mike
Because
Larkin.
we keep that, but we
Yeah.
don't rename. We keep that
we
for
just
ourselves.
keep it so where we
for
Actually-
legal
can
stuff.
legal reasons.
Yeah.
Well, that's also could be a great marketing tool because people are still going to like search HBO Max, and then your podcast could be the first thing to pop up.
We can reroute the website.
Yeah, I imagine they bought that website for like the next 10 years. But
Listen, I'll get my lawyer on the case.
what's really going to be maddening about all of this is that HBO Max is going to stick around for probably 2 years after they've taken everything off of it, because they're just going to hope people don't cancel their memberships and just have the auto renew on.
That is so company.
But yeah, so we this podcast somehow outlived the streaming service HBO Max. We're gonna keep going. We'll find a new conceit for the podcast to work around. But yeah, eventually we're just gonna be reviewing whatever movies we want.
So you're
Perfect.
saying there's a chance to come back and review You've Got Mail.
Absolutely.
Mhm. Yes, we will have our own Meg Ryan trilogy.
Yes.
Yes, we'll
Yes.
continue the trilogy.
Yes.
I'm here for
And
it.
then we'll do Joe versus the volcano after that.
Okay.
Yes.
Where
I don't.
Meg Ryan plays like 8 characters in that movie.
What Joe versus the volcano in my head? I don't know. I've never heard of this movie until I was doing
Really?
research for this. Yeah.
Hmm.
Is there a volcano?
Yes.
A real one. Okay, so like
So the plot of that movie is Tom Hanks is like an office worker in sort of like comical, like corporate overlord future.
Mhm.
A doctor tells him that he is going to die in a couple months,
No.
and a guy, a businessman approaches him and is like, hey, we have all this business with this island and they have to sacrifice somebody to a volcano every year, otherwise like the island explodes or something or whatever, and we want to keep like stealing stuff, like mining this island. So will you, since you're gonna die in a month anyway, you go down there, they'll treat you like a king for a month, and then they'll throw you in the volcano.
Oh, how fun!
Yeah.
Okay.
And the Meg Ryan actually plays like 5 characters in that movie.
Ah.
Like almost
I did not know that.
all the women characters in the movie are played by Meg Ryan.
Meg Ryan.
It's a very strange movie. We should review it.
Do it. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that movie once, and I was like a child. I barely remember it at all.
Well, that's one of the interesting things
that'd be
about like this
interesting.
movie in particular, which is that it's part of like the weird career arc of Tom Hanks, right? Because Tom Hanks
Mhm.
started off a comedic actor
Mhm.
and then like went into like heartthrob rom-com actor and then into like really, really serious actor.
Road to perdition.
Like he's done it all. He does everything.
He has. That's why he's number
Mhm.
1 on
Mhm.
my
Yeah.
actor list.
Yeah,
I don't
Red Bluff,
know.
California's own Tom
I
Hanks.
didn't know that.
The most famous
Yes.
person to come from my town.
Oh.
He was born in Concord.
Yeah, he's not actually from Red Bluff.
Oh, okay.
His parents split up when he was a kid, and his mom moved to Red Bluff, and so he would spend summers with his mom in our town.
Didn't you have a relative that lived?
Yeah, my grandma lived a couple blocks away from Tom Hanks's aunt.
Oh,
I met his mom once when I was a kid. I'd never gotten to meet Tom Hanks, but like when his mom was still alive, he would come in for the holidays and stuff. And so it would be like the town is buzzing. People are sighting Tom Hanks at the grocery store.
Tom Cruise, get
Tom
out of
Cruise.
here.
Yeah, it's snuck in there. I've been watching. I've been talking about Tom Cruise a lot lately because
I
Maverick.
I know.
It happens.
But yeah, Tom Hanks, Red Bluff,
Also,
California's own.
Tom Hanks and I went to the same college, Sacramento
really?
State.
Hell
Shout
yeah.
out. Mm-hmm.
Everyone has a Tom Hanks
Yeah.
connection except for
I
me.
know.
I need one. I need to meet
We'll get him on the
It'll
show.
happen.
him. Dude, if
We'll
we,
get him on the show.
I might just be quiet the entire time. Just starstruck. He's number one. He's number one. I filled out my list, by the way. I promise we'll talk about Sleepless in Seattle in a second.
Oh,
I've
no.
added-
They don't come to this show to listen to us talk about the fucking movie.
So Tom Hanks number one, as we know. Tony Shalhoub number two.
Yes.
Number three, Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah.
Number four,
I was surprised he wasn't on the list before. 'Cause
Yes.
I know your love of Jeff Goldblum, but the list was 2 actors long, and Jeff Goldblum wasn't on it. It was strange to me.
I had to add him on, obviously. Number four, Michael J. Fox. Number five, Martin Freeman. We're at 5 right now.
Interesting choice. Martin
That's a
Freeman.
pretty
liked
solid
him.
list.
Thank you. Yeah, I tried.
Eclectic.
What
I
Martin,
actually,
what
it's
Martin
eclectic,
Freeman
and yet-
movies?
I feel like they all kind of have a similar vibe in some way.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Mhm.
I don't know if I've ever seen him in a movie. I've seen him in Fargo and the UK Office.
Wait. He's one of your top 5 favorite actors, and you've never seen him in a movie.
I don't think. Wait, let me look him up real quick.
So
I'm
he
looking him
did a couple Edgar Wright movies.
Oh, he's a cutie.
I don't think I've ever
He
seen
did.
him.
He's in
That's-
2
he's
Marvel
adorable.
movies.
Oh, I've seen those. I've seen Black Panther.
You didn't see
I love
Sherlock?
him in Black Panther.
I wanted to.
Watch the
but I-
first season of Sherlock.
Okay.
Watch
I
the
will.
My
first
favorite-
season.
My favorite Martin Freeman movie, Love
Mhm.
Actually.
He was in Love Actually.
Oh, he's in
There's a
Love
bunch of
Actually.
people in Love Actually.
He plays a
Yeah.
stand-in to be like the real stars like sex scenes in Love Actually.
Interesting.
So he's the guy. I don't know if you've seen Love Actually, because
No.
it's one of those movies where there's like a million different characters and stories.
Yeah,
Right.
it was like it's an ensemble.
And Martin
thing.
Freeman plays like an extra in a movie to be a part of like the sex scenes, because like the main stars like won't be naked on set.
Okay.
So it's like him being like so classically like British and polite and respectful, and like getting to know his co-star as they're like faking like having sex, and then him being really sweet and like so sweetly trying to like ask her out. It's like the cutest thing ever.
I love Martin Freeman.
Oh, you know what? He's really good in Hitchhiker's Guide.
That's right. I need to see
yeah.
that movie.
Not really.
Okay.
Uh,
maybe not.
It's
Maybe
actually a
Yeah.
good movie.
I
But, like,
know
maybe just for him.
knowing your like tendencies about how much you care about accuracy from book translation to movie, maybe skip it.
Okay. I can do that.
And then I mean, obviously he was in the Hobbit films, where he's a very good Bilbo Baggins, but those movies suck.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, Martin Freeman, yeah,
I don't
he's
watch those
good.
movies.
Yeah.
He's good.
Yeah.
So we're doing themed months. I think that we should run through Makenna's 5 favorite actors. They each get a themed month.
That's a good
Jeff
idea.
Goldblum month is going to be wild because he makes a lot of weird ass movies. We're going to talk about The Fly.
I want to talk about The Fly. I haven't seen it, but you warned me against it one time.
He's gross in that movie.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. and I'm
I
nervous.
don't know that movie.
Okay. Mac.
Oh yeah.
Facts and figures?
Sleepless in Seattle. Facts and figures. Sleepless in Seattle, released June 25th, 1993. Big time for movies. Jurassic Park came out. Speaking of Jeff Goldblum, around that time, and a few other ones, but mainly Jurassic Park.
13 minutes and 40 seconds. That's how long it took us to get into facts and figures. I want this to be like on the Kind of Funny podcast, the Greg Miller when he does the introduction, what the record is. Somebody viewer take note how long it takes us to get into facts and figures in an episode. Because I have the feeling it's gonna start getting longer and longer.
Oh yeah, 100%, absolutely. I'm very. It's gonna be good. It has a budget of money. A budget of $21 million. Box office $227.8 million. It is the words are hard. 8th highest growing. I'm not gonna get through this line. The 8th highest grossing film of 1993. Does anybody want to guess what number 1 was?
Was it
90
not Jurassic Park?
94 is Jurassic Park.
No,
No?
she just said it
No?
came out the same
Yeah,
year as
it
Jurassic
came
Park.
out
Oh,
around
it,
the
it
same
did? Okay,
time
then yeah,
as
it's
it came
Jurassic
out-
Park.
Yeah, it's Jurassic
I
Park.
thought Jurassic Park was 94.
Nah, because this was Jurassic Park Schindler List year.
Yes.
Schindler List came out in November.
Spielberg.
Spielberg. That
Nailed
we should have him
two.
on sometime.
Yeah, Spielberg, come on the show.
Go on the show.
God, Jurassic Park, Schindler's List, same year.
Mm-hmm. Big year.
Crazy.
Big year for
Crazy.
movies.
I've
yeah,
not
Jurassic-
seen Schindler's
Jurassic Park.
List, and I don't plan on it.
No, it's
Oh,
okay.
you haven't?
No.
No,
I'm
I haven't.
surprised.
Why? Because I'm Jewish? That's rude.
Well, one, you didn't watch it in high school? Like,
I
know.
you really? We watched
Mm.
it. I watched it like twice in high school. One, fucking fantastic movie.
I'm sure it's great. I
I'll
don't
watch it.
know.
I'll watch it.
I mean,
one day.
it's sad as fuck.
Isn't
Yeah.
it black and white?
Kind
Like,
of.
Part of it is black and white?
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
Really,
Yeah.
really. I mean, great fucking movie.
I don't know. I
Schindler's
just
List.
prefer to like not watch depressing history stuff. It bums me out.
It's I mean it is very depressing, but it's also I mean it's sort of like a hopeful film, right? Because it's about a guy
Oh.
saving a bunch of people.
I
The-
mean, yeah, valid.
It's just a really good movie, okay? Like
So
if you haven't
Sleepless
seen
in
Schindler's
Seattle.
List, audience, if you haven't seen Schindler's List, go watch Schindler's List.
I'll go watch it someday.
I'm
It
surprised
was-
I'm surprised the budget for this movie was only 24 million.
21 mil.
21 million. Yeah,
3
that's
mil less. Yeah.
like we're
I
talking
mean, they
like
got some air shots, multiple locations in
Mhm.
major cities.
I
I don't know how much that costs. I'm just saying.
I wonder how much of this was actually shot on location.
So, well, buckle
I
up.
mean,
I have
Okay.
this.
Okay. What? For one second before we get into that, I mean mostly just on the salaries of like Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan. Alone,
Oh,
'cause
right.
We're talking about like both actors hitting their peak in terms of like box office draw. So it's pretty crazy that they got this in with
mhm.
what is a pretty small budget even for like 1993.
Yeah. That it surprised me when I saw it was only 21 million. And yeah, like you said, salary and whatnot, especially Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks. Oh.
I wonder if Meg Ryan took like a big pay cut for this. Because she had already done a Nora Ephron movie. Rob Reiner produced it, and she had worked with Rob Reiner before. I wonder if she like took a big pay cut to do this movie.
Nora was like, "Hey, I need you as a friend. We're friends now.
Or
Please let
maybe
me
they
pay
were
you less."
maybe they were offered points on the movie, and they were both like, "Look, it's Tom Hanks, Meg Ryan. This movie's gonna be a huge hit.
Right.
So you can just have like
Mm.
2% of the gross."
Maybe.
This is why we need Tom Hanks on the film. Or
Yeah,
on
Tom Hanks.
This thing.
So how much did you get paid to do Sleepless in Seattle? I
We
need
have
to know.
questions for you. We'll do a follow-up episode. We'll do whatever you want. Just come on the show. It's gonna be great. This was also one of the most successful rom-coms at the time. And it had 2 Oscar nominations. Best Original Screenplay, Best Original Song. Sorry.
Wait,
I
what
wrote
was the original
extras.
song?
I listened to it last night. Hold on, let me find it. It was
It's the song that plays in the credits.
Yeah.
Oh, the
it's-
Celine Dion cover?
It was
I think it's the song that plays in the credits, right?
I believe it plays at some point. A Wink and a Smile.
Oh,
Henry Connick
that's
Jr.
an original song. That's
Yeah.
Oh, that's Harry Connick Jr. Harry Connick Jr. does not age. That's crazy. That song is so cute. That's the song that
It's-
plays when Meg Ryan is stalking them on the beach.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
I feel mean saying that. Okay, quick question. When is Labor
Oh.
Day?
Labor Day?
Yeah, I swear I have a
It's-
point.
It's
So
2
it's
weeks.
normally right around my birthday. It's normally like the end of August.
Yeah, it's this year's the
Okay.
5th of September. It's the first Monday in August or September.
I noticed a loophole in the movie because
Go on.
when she is standing behind this like cute little storefront watching Tom Hanks and his son, there's a
Mhm.
sign in the window that says closed for Labor Day weekend. And it's this movie takes place between Christmas and Valentine's Day.
Oh, that's right.
Oh yeah, continuity guy didn't grab that.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Just saying. I like
Gotta
finding.
go.
I mean, like I'm not like wow.
That's a
holy fuck
super cool
now.
Easter egg that you
That
is
grabbed.
cool.
You
Yeah.
like you just
I
know, like you should
know.
check the IMDb and see if that's on there. You can put that on there.
That's why I love watching movies multiple times because I like finding new things. That I missed the first 3 times.
That's yes. I'm on the.
That's really
It's not on
interesting.
here. It's not on the
It's
IMDb
not on
page.
there?
Go,
Okay,
go
yeah, we
for
need
it. Go
to-
do it.
Yeah, we need to go
I've
add
never
that to the
done that
goofs.
before.
We need to
I've
add
never
that to
done
the
that before.
goofs on IMDb for
Goofs,
Sleepless in
yes.
Seattle. We just noticed something new. HBO Max is breaking news on movie. Not news, I guess, because this movie came out
Breaking goofs.
a year before I was born. But
Okay, I have the tab open. I'll do
Mhm.
it later.
we're telling you things about movies you've literally never heard anywhere else.
Yes, never. Yes, that's us.
Okay, so I have a lot of notes
Breaking
here.
goofs.
What are we talking
Well,
about?
so Max gonna finish up her facts.
I
She's
have a
got
few-
more facts and figures.
Oh,
do
that's
have-
not done. Okay.
Oh
got
no,
it.
No. No, I like to interrupt the facts and figures.
Of
It's
course you
good.
do.
It's very
Okay.
good.
Okay, I'm ready.
So let's see here. So a few different actors were thought about for Annie and Sam. Annie, Jodie Foster, Madonna, Julia Roberts were some of the some of the many actresses considered for the role. Sam, Kevin Costner, and Dennis Quaid was going to possibly act beside
Oh
Her,
my god!
uh,
If they got
Quaid.
Dennis
wife.
Quaid and Meg Ryan
Meg
in
Ryan.
a rom com, oh
Mhm.
my god, that would have been so perfect.
Uh-huh. It was because that's what she
That chemistry would still be really, really good.
Well,
Mhm.
Cait, they're married.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
It's Jack Quaid.
Jack Quaid. We are 2 Kevin Bacons away from Jack Quaid. She should come on here.
You think I can get Jack Quaid on this show?
Jack Quaid.
We should reach out to Greg and see if we can get Jack Quaid on this show.
Oh my god.
See what
This
movie
is-
Jack Quaid wants
this
to review
is-
for HBO Max.
The HBO Max has turned into half a podcast, half a production meeting at this point.
Yeah, this is a weird episode.
I love it. This is
You love it, yeah. I mean, the audience loves it too. They know they do. They don't come here for fucking movie reviews.
They come here for all the hope and happiness.
So Billy Crystal, I'd assume Billy Crystal would have been considered for
I
this
think I may have read his name somewhere.
because this movie's filled with cameos. A lot.
Oh yeah,
of-
Rob Reiner.
oh,
I know.
A lot of When Harry Met Sally cameos.
Mhm.
So I would assume that when they went to run this back, they were just like, I mean, we got Meg Ryan. Like, When Harry Met Sally was a huge success, let's just bring Billy Crystal back. Let's just do it again.
Run it back.
Yeah, like
Why
they
not?
did with You Got Mail.
Exactly. Tom Hanks did voice work for Woody on his off days for Toy Story.
Awesome.
Gary Marshall was originally slated to direct. And I like Gary Marshall because he created Happy Days. And I like Happy Days. So I wanted to include G. Marsh, and my
Yeah.
boy.
I mean, yeah, friends with Rob Reiner, right?
Yeah,
Because of
exactly.
Happy Days.
Correct. Yep.
Rob Reiner produced this movie. Of course, Rob Reiner directed When Harry Met
Mm-hmm.
Sally. So he was really, really interested in getting the next Nora Ephron movie out there.
Yes. Very, yes. Annie and Sam had only about 2 minutes of screen time together.
That's what, when watching this movie, that's what I was like, seriously?
Well, yeah, that's like the story was there for a while, but people didn't want to make it because of they only had like 2 minutes on screen together. Like
Yeah,
it
this movie has like 3 writers on it.
yeah.
Because it was written by this one guy.
Yeah.
And then they brought on another writer. They tried to do it again. And then eventually Nora Ephron took it and did a draft of it. And then
Mhm.
eventually they were like, well, just direct it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then my final facts and figures about the scenes. So they did have some on location shots, but most of like the interior scenes, including when I was gonna say When Harry Met Sally. When Annie and Sam meet at the top of the Empire State Building.
Including When Harry Met Sally.
When Annie meets Sam at the top of the Empire State Building, they were filmed on a decommissioned naval base in Seattle. To be specific, the Sandpoint Naval Air Station. But yeah, a few of those were on scene.
So that makes sense.
Like,
and you never really see Meg Ryan outside of a building, right?
Yeah.
So
or
that
outside
makes sense.
of Seattle. Yeah.
Yeah, because all the times that she's outside, she's stalking Tom Hanks.
Out in the middle of the road, almost getting hit by a truck.
Multiple times. Yeah.
She's just so starstruck.
This movie's fucking weird.
It is. Okay, I forgot how I was like, oh, this is it's okay. She's just gonna watch them and not say it. But anyway, that's okay. I'm done with facts.
She's a creep in this movie.
She is.
Okay, I don't understand why she hires like a private investigator.
So she does it through like trying to get an insurance. She fakes an insurance background check on him, right?
Some kind of background check.
Yeah, I think so. I think what she's trying to do is she's trying to get pictures of him because she doesn't know what he looks like yet. Because that's what she puts in. She's like AAA insurance, background check. We need a photo included. So that's what I assume she was trying to do there. Was she was trying to get. But like, you think like
that's valid. It is hard to stalk someone when you don't know what they look like.
But you think that like the insurance company would just be like, okay, we'll reach out to the DMV and get his driver's license photo. They probably wouldn't hire a private investigator to follow this guy around for multiple days to get a picture, because he's there at the restaurant taking pictures of him, and then they also get pictures of him on the same day that Meg Ryan almost gets hit by the car. So this private investigator is just like, okay, I got a bunch of pictures from him at this restaurant. Not good enough. I need to keep following this guy.
Get all the angles.
And all the backs of women's heads.
It's an extremely weird part of this movie. But also, like, yeah, she's just, like, at work using her work time and resources to stalk this dude. She doesn't know.
Yeah, like, she's a writer for a major newspaper. I don't think she works on a normal article, like, the entire 2 months. She's just
she doesn't do... she doesn't do any work in this movie. She doesn't do any. She fakes working. She like goes to her editor and is like, "Hey, you want to help me fake working so that I can go stalk this guy on the radio?" Yeah, she doesn't write an article.
It's really easy to get out of work when your editor is also your best friend.
Yeah, she's doing.
Who is like rooting for you. Yes. So, you know, more power to her. Yeah. I have to say, I love Rosie O'Donnell so much as that character.
She's so good.
Deadpan remarks, and like at least twice when Meg Ryan like starts talking about Walter, and then they just pan to Rosie O'Donnell, like whose face is just like, ugh, this guy.
Freaking Walter.
The comedy is just like, oh, it's so good.
Rosie O'Donnell plays like the same character in every, because we did A League of Their Own. She's like the exact same character. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's just kind of how she is in real life.
Rosie O'Donnell definitely had a moment in like the mid '90s where she was in like everything.
She had that was when she had her own show too, as well, correct? The Rosie O'Donnell show.
No, I think that was after.
Was it after?
Because I remember that being on when I was a kid, so I would say that was late '90s, early 2000s when it was the Rosie O'Donnell show.
Interesting. We have a Rosie O'Donnell doll. My grandma does. Fun fact. Fun Makenna family lore fact.
Okay, well there you go.
It was like a stuffed doll, and like it had a button, and she talked. It was, I don't know why.
What like were her catchphrases?
I don't remember. I'll go have to find it. I'll go talk to my grandma. I'll go see what's up.
Okay, good.
She might.
Let me know what your grandma says.
It's 10:30. I don't know. She might be up. I won't call her. It's okay. I'll talk to her after.
Okay.
Perfect.
So Tom Hanks is also kind of a creep in this movie.
Yeah.
When he's
How is he
at
a
the
creep?
airport,
Yeah.
he sees a pretty girl and then immediately starts following her.
Have you never seen a romantic comedy, Jose?
I've seen a lot of them. I'm a
It's
big
the
romantic
epitome
comedy
of
guy.
love at first sight. Okay.
I'm just saying, guys, if you watch Sleepless in Seattle, if you see a pretty girl in the airport, you shouldn't just follow her. That's not cool.
They were walking that way anyway. They had to leave the
No,
airport.
but he like starts ignoring his son, and he is like dead focused on
Jonah
following
talks
Meg
a
Ryan.
lot, okay,
He
his
does.
son
Okay.
talks a lot.
Oh my god, that kid annoyed the shit out of me this time I watched it.
I loved him.
Yeah.
It's
I
like,
thought he was adorable.
come on, kid, what are we doing?
Jonah,
Right?
though, okay.
I wrote
Go-
in all caps because I love it so much. My dad's been captured by a hoe. What do I do?
I got in trouble for laughing so loud at that because I watched this last night and I left my door open and I laughed so loud my sister yelled at me. it's so
The only thing that is apparently wrong with this woman is that she laughs kind of funny, and this kid just can't stand her. She's perfectly nice. She's got box tickets to the Mariners. The fucking Sammy Sosa's, Ken Griffey Jr. is playing right now in Seattle. What the kid? Go watch Ken Griffey Jr.
Have either parents ever dated other people?
Kind of.
Okay, well, I've had 2 step parents in my life, and so I will just say the tiniest little thing will just be like, wow, you are ruining my life. You're taking my parent away from me because I don't love every single thing about you. And he yeah, she has box seats to whatever, but Annie also knew stuff about baseball, and it was about the team that they actually liked. So that was more.
Yeah, they
important.
really shoehorn that in there. That's weird. There's I got notes on this later, but there's a lot of weird stuff that gets shoehorned into this movie in regards to like setting up why they're perfect for each other. But like, okay, yeah, obviously kids aren't gonna like who their parents date or whatever, but like there's a reason we don't let children make decisions, right?
Okay, but he also says, in my notes,
he calls her a hoe because she laughs kind of funny.
No, it's because she kisses him. And
oh yeah, wow, she
and
kisses
kissing
him.
is gross.
it's disgusting.
Girls have cooties.
Girls do have cooties.
So when they're walking through the airport and he's talking about reincarnation, what's his friend's name? I
Oh,
don't
Jessica.
remember. Jessica.
Yes.
He's like, Jessica says that like you don't get it because you're an adult, but I understand because I'm younger and pure and attracted to cosmic forces.
Yes.
I love this kid.
Right when he starts hanging out with Jessica, that's when he really takes off as a character.
Oh yeah,
So
for
good.
sure.
I love him.
I'll say that growing up, growing up,
Hi and goodbye.
I had a huge crush on the actress who played Jessica because she was in this, which my mom watched all the time. She was in Uncle Buck, which was one of my favorite movies when I was a kid, and she was in Volcano with she's in a bunch of movies as a kid, and now she's in Winning Time as one of the main characters of Winning Time, which is a really good show on HBO Max.
I've only seen her as an adult. She was in the HBO show Girls, which is like a whole thing, and she plays a very strange character in that show. So
Girls is a weird ass show.
Oh, I know.
Don't watch Girls.
I watched the whole thing, but anyway.
I need to find my Jessica connection. Keep going, because apparently everyone's
She was in a bunch.
I found
of
a little
stuff
note. I found a Nora Ephron note. That's random.
Go on.
But so in Jose's favorite scene where Tom Hanks is following Meg Ryan at the airport, she gets mixed up in like this team of it's some kind of sports ball guys, and they're all wearing these like bright red tracksuits. And Nora said that up until that point, she had avoided the color red like entirely because she wanted like their first time kind of, I mean, she doesn't see Tom Hanks, but like she wanted to capture the red, like representing like the passion that they would have for each other. And so it's like him following the red. And then when Jonah flies to New York, he's wearing a bright red jacket. And it's like very clear when he's on top of the Empire State Building. And so it's like he's trying to like bring them together, you know? And it's like, and then that's like signified by him wearing the red jacket. So I thought that was cool.
Oh,
It's good color work. I like that.
love stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think I found. Well, no, actually, it's not a real Jessica connection. It's
Damn.
2 degrees off. She was in the 1995 Freaky Friday with freaking the Shelley Long from Cheers. I can't think of her character.
Wasn't that a TV movie?
It was. Oh my God, Shelley. Diane. She played Diane in Cheers. But yeah, Gabby Hoffman was the teenager in that. Jessica, sorry.
Gabby Hoffman, great.
I haven't seen it.
Great.
I saw the 2005
amazing child actor. Like she's hilarious in Uncle Buck. Uncle Buck, what a film!
I haven't seen that in
Yeah.
decades.
So good. Rewatch Uncle Buck.
It's
great.
John Hughes movie. I didn't realize.
Yeah,
It was
John Hughes, starring John Candy as the titular Uncle Buck. Macaulay Culkin.
Jessica.
Yeah, great. Just a
Who else?
great movie. Hilarious
do you need?
film. I can't remember who played the teenage daughter in that movie.
Do you know her name?
Nope.
Amy Madigan. Elaine
maybe.
Bromka. Oh wait, no, that's the wife of Bob.
Bob is Uncle Buck's brother.
Oh, the oldest daughter of Bob and Cindy.
Yeah.
Tia Russell. Jean Louisa Kelly.
Weird name.
She was-
McKenna, do me a favor and
She's a
go
yes dear.
go look up Meg Ryan's real name.
That's not her real name?
Meg Ryan is not her real name now.
Oh,
Like most actors changed it when got in the biz because the Actors Guild and all that.
that's fair. All right. It is. Oh, here we go. Margaret, Mary, Emily, Anna, Hira. Hira. Yeah.
They just
many
gave her
names
all the
does she have?
names.
Oh, all of them.
What?
Yeah.
I
Apparently.
mean, I have 2 middle names, and I think that's a lot. That's a lot of names.
Meg Ryan was a good choice.
Meg Ryan was a good choice. I want to know where she got the Ryan from.
3 syllables is all you need. To be
Probably just like a
stalker.
family name.
Mhm. Yeah. What is
We had
does
a
Quaid
dog
his real
named
name?
Ryan.
Oh. Ryan? Dog?
Ryan?
Go on.
Sorry, I was just being funny.
This episode's
I was
great.
like, maybe she had a childhood
This is
dog
the
named
weirdest
Ryan.
episode of HBO Max we've ever done.
I love it so much. Speaking of the actors in this movie, Niles Crane is in this from Frasier.
Yeah.
I
And
love him in this.
Why is he
Okay.
only in
More
one
parts.
scene?
I know. I wish he
And-
had more parts.
I love that he's in because Frasier was going on at this time. No, it almost started. Cheers was still going on. But I love how he's in a movie about a guy who's in Seattle and a radio therapist.
That's like that's a funny connection. Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
But yeah, I love
I can
him.
Put that together.
Niles Crane, shout out.
Yeah,
Gotta love
he's really funny too. Like, why isn't he?
is so good.
It rains
It's-
9 months out of the year in Seattle.
It's such a weird. Because I imagine that there was more stuff for him because like Tom Hanks's character has such like a big cast of characters around him. Like he's hanging out with Rob Reiner all the time. He's got his friends from Chicago and stuff.
He's got his wife as his sister.
Okay, wait, no,
he's
they're
got
not
dreams.
sisters, are they? Aren't they just friends? Or is it his sister?
I don't know. Maybe
I
I read it was his sister, but maybe I could be wrong.
Don't No.
They never specify. And in the credits, she and her husband, played by Victor Garber, they only have first names. They don't have last names. So like it doesn't.
I thought they were
clarify.
just friends.
I don't know. I don't know. I read on
kinda-
IMDb. IMDb may have lied to me.
So Victor Garber,
Mhm.
super underrated. One of the ultimate that guys in a movie where he just shows up and I'm like, oh, it's that guy.
Yeah. Yep. Like it actually took me like a solid minute to even like think of like what else I know him from, but it's like he's so
He's in a
recognizable.
bunch of movies.
It's like it doesn't even matter.
Yeah,
It's
and
just
like he's
oh, yeah, it's
never
that
a main
guy.
character. He's just like
Mhm.
he's just that guy in the movie. We're like, oh, he's in a bunch of stuff.
Yep. I mean,
Love
I know
it.
him best from his work in Legally Blonde.
Oh,
it's a movie
right.
I've seen
Yeah.
hundreds of times.
He was also in Frasier, apparently.
Yeah, probably. He's in,
Really?
like, everything.
Yeah, he
Dang,
was in an episode
yeah.
2000. There we go. And everything.
This
Mhm.
this movie has a bunch of just like weird ass cameos in it. Billy Crystal's best friend from When Harry Met Sally is an extra in this movie.
Oh,
Oh wait, is he
When
one
they-
of the? Does he work with Tom Hanks?
So when they go into the house that they're building, he's fixing
Yeah.
he's building the stairs.
Oh,
He's just
so
in
he
the
doesn't have,
background.
like, a
Yeah,
speaking part
he's an
at all.
extra.
Okay.
He's just in there, and I saw him in the background. I was like
That's funny.
Leonardo
There are a lot of those
DiCaprio
guys.
meme, just like
A lot of those guys looked exactly the same. To me.
yeah. But I mean, I've seen When Harry Met Sally like 500 times, so I see that guy, and I'm just like,
Okay.
ah.
I love the Tom Hanks Rob Reiner hangout scene where he's asking for advice about dating, and I love when he's like, "You gotta have a cute butt," and then Tom Hanks
Yes!
is like, "Oh, is my butt cute?" And Rob Reiner says, "I don't know. Are we grading on a curve?" Grading on a curve. Sorry. Oh my god, it's so funny.
good. It's so funny.
So good.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So good. I'm gonna my editing comment of the episode. Very good match action. Cut at one point. I don't remember what was happening. Meg Ryan closes the door. Cuts to Tom Hanks opening the door. I believe to the house that we're talking about.
Oh.
Good match action. We love. So good.
That's nice.
So, and that's my editing comment of the episode. Thank you. Yes, editing, baby.
Nice.
Also, Annie's driving terrifies me. This is why I don't drive. She's
Having a whole paper map just covering the windshield.
it's
Oh
that,
yeah.
and then while she's stalking Tom Hanks and Jonah, she's like driving but not looking at the road
Oh yeah, full on just staring
in a
out the
city
window.
she doesn't know. I don't know. I don't think she's ever driven
on
in
a
Seattle.
bridge because she's
On
like
a
driving over water. Yeah,
Terrifying. This is why I don't drive.
she's in lust. Okay, she's just
Okay, that's
so
fair.
captivated by Tom Hanks, and who
Okay,
wouldn't
right.
be? You know,
That's fair.
what's up, Jose?
Yeah, right.
It's just like it's so weird that they don't know each other.
Yeah,
They know nothing about each other. And it's just the end of the movie. They're just like, yeah, we're a couple now.
Yep. Happily ever after.
yeah, like full on holding someone's hand that whole time. And I actually was thinking, like, what happens when they get out of the elevator? Like,
Mhm.
what's the plan there? Like, where do
Yeah.
they go from here?
How
You know?
how do you think Walter feels? Like
I feel so bad
so bad for Walter.
for Bill Pullman. He does nothing. He's like this is the main thing that like when watching this movie. I like this movie quite a bit. It was very fun. I liked it a lot. But the main thing that like
'cause it sounds
really
like you hated it.
annoyed the shit out of me in this movie was that like usually rom-coms will like put in the work to like make you not like the other person that they're
Mhm.
dating, right?
Mhm.
But this movie is just like nah, they're just like perfectly fine people who just like they're just gonna blow off. Meg Ryan's just gonna blow off her engagement for a guy she doesn't know. That's a fucking psychotic thing to do.
Okay, well, here's the thing. She's not blowing him off for Tom Hanks, although that is kind of what the movie showcases. Like, the whole time, like, what Meg Ryan's character is fighting through in this movie is, like, trying to decide if she should do, like, the safe choice versus the magical falling in love thing. Like, just, it's like what her mom talks about, like, oh, like when I met your father and like we had these sparks, and then to her she's just like, oh yeah, like Walter's a really good guy, like he loves me, everything's solid, everything's good. And that's what she's trying to like that's her struggle. And Tom Hanks's character just happens to come along at the right time, and it's almost like he inspires her to want to seek out that magical love. It's not entirely about him. It's more like she becomes so attracted and obsessed with this concept of like meeting someone and it's magical and you just know you have to be with them and you're going to be with them forever.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
I think that they don't do enough with Meg Ryan for that to actually like work as a story, because Meg Ryan's character is so obsessed with Tom Hanks in this movie that she essentially doesn't have a personality outside of loving Tom Hanks. Like the most important things about her, we learn not on she loves the Baltimore Orioles guy. We learned that when the kid reads a letter. Like, she never like
she loves the movie An Affair to Remember.
Apparently every woman in this universe does.
I don't everyone knew about it. Once it was mentioned, everyone knew about it.
Yeah.
Everyone.
That is not like a personality trait for Meg Ryan's character. That is just apparently a universal constant for women in the universe of the movie. Like, there's no other point in the movie where she's also struggling against doing the normal thing. Like, they could have given us examples of that, like in her work life or with other things in her personal life. The way that it gets framed in the movie makes it almost like borderline abusive to Walter, that she is just like, hey, you're here and you're super nice or whatever, and I'm just gonna like marry you just cuz. She spends the entire, like, literally from like the first scene that we get introduced to Meg Ryan, she doesn't want to marry Walter. She's constantly finding excuses for why she shouldn't marry Walter. So why are you doing it? That's not fair to Walter.
We don't really get like a lot of backstory of their relationship. Like, in the very beginning, like that she's at her parents' house for Christmas and she announces that she and Walter are engaged, and it's like the family's first time meeting him. And I mean, it is kind of hard to grasp sometimes. Like, every time she talks about loving being around Walter or like a great night they had, it is kind of hard to tell sometimes if she genuinely does love him or if it's like her talking herself into how great of a guy he is. Like, I don't think she doesn't like him at all. I think it's just a different kind of love. Like, there's different ways to love people.
That is how the movie intends it. But just watching it this time, I just felt so goddamn bad for this guy. Because, like, he's
he's okay at the end. He's smiling. He's still cracking jokes.
Because apparently Walter just isn't a person. He has no personality traits besides being agreeable at all times.
And being allergic to, like, everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. And having some kind of 90s businessman job that's never fully, like, articulated.
He finds his fiancée in a broom closet with a boombox and a telephone. She lies to him, and then he just goes, okay.
Yeah, because, like, he just cares about her. He's just go with the flow.
Yeah. I mean, which one? Great quality in Walter. Walter seems like a great guy.
No, Walter.
I don't know.
I just feel so bad for this dude. The movie just shits on him for no
It
reason.
just wasn't meant to be, okay? It just wasn't meant to be.
Poor Walter.
Walter should have got with, what's her name?
The friend?
No, Tom Hanks's girlfriend who
Oh.
goes away on a plane and apparently never gets to talk to Tom Hanks again. Tom Hanks is still dating her. They're in a relationship at that point in the movie. She leaves on a plane and she is going to come back to Seattle, none the wiser that Tom Hanks has been cheating on her with apparently a woman he's going to marry.
Oh, with Meg Ryan. I mean, come on.
Okay,
It's
it's
Meg
not
Ryan.
cheating. He just met her and he didn't even know he was gonna meet her. He had to go rescue Jonah from New York.
Okay. Cait, if you were dating a
Have the
guy,
intentions.
if you were dating a guy, you went away on a business trip and you came back and the guy you were dating was like, hey, so check it out. I went to New York, met this woman on top of a building, and she's the
and
love
we
of
held
my life.
hands.
She's
We held hands. I'm so sorry.
We don't know where the movie goes because it just ends right there, but
Exactly,
presumably
we don't know.
presumably they are in love at this point.
Oh my god. I don't know what you want from me, okay? I'm like, this is a 1993 rom-com. Okay?
It's
It's
just
not
so
supposed to
weird.
make perfect sense. I don't know what you want from these characters.
It's just so weird that like they're constantly doing things that are like super weird and borderline fucked up, and you're supposed to spend the entire time like, yeah, Meg Ryan, you stalk this guy. This is going great. You invade his privacy. You falsify records from the AAA insurance company to get photos of this guy. This is what we as the audience want you to do. Do you think Meg Ryan's ever going to tell Tom Hanks that she stalked him?
Ooh, that's a great question. I mean, she has to have an explanation for why she was in Seattle, why she was there.
That's true. Why? Is she
Yeah, I don't
hanging
know.
about?
Is she going to, like, because she was lying about working on a story. Is she going to lie about that to Tom Hanks?
And see, I kind of feel like Tom Hanks's character wouldn't be into that because, like, multiple times when Jonah's like, "Ooh, you should meet this woman," he's like, "She could be crazy. We don't know anything about this woman. She's a stranger." And then, you know, he's attracted to Meg Ryan and she's a stranger. And then she has to tell him about how and why she was in Seattle. And I feel like, do you think he would be like, "Oh, that's so romantic"? Or
It's tough to
"Oh,
say
you're
because it
crazy."
is Meg Ryan. So
So if it was Julia Roberts, it wouldn't
no,
work.
because that's like also like one of the most beautiful women of the 90s.
Oh, okay, got it. So if
If
I
it
don't
was
know.
Rosie O'Donnell,
I didn't know that that's what this podcast was gonna be. I didn't know this podcast was me gonna be having to defend every second of this movie to Jose.
Yeah, this
I
is
thought we were just gonna talk about the funny, cool part.
this is fun to listen to.
we can talk about the other stuff later. Just up front, I was just like, when I watched it this time, it's what I thought about. It was just
Okay.
very strange to me.
That is actually so. The first couple times I saw this movie when I was younger, I was just like, "Oh, it's romantic, it's cute, whatever." And then when I watched it maybe like a year or so ago, it did dawn on me for the first time how creepy it can come off. Like, I'm not saying that, like, you know, that it's not weird. It is weird. I get that. But watching it today and just having like a trying to like take notes as if I'm in like some AP film class trying to like discuss this movie, I see like, you know, why Meg Ryan did what she did, like how it kind of makes sense. I don't know. It's like it made me more of a fan. So I guess that's why I'm like being more defensive.
I was prepared to talk about You Got Mail. And You Got Mail has Meg Ryan doing some shady stuff in that movie.
I am always ready to talk about You've Got Mail. I don't even need to rewatch it. I
Because
can talk about any scene from that movie.
I messaged Cait while I was watching this movie. Just why can't Meg Ryan stop cheating on guys with Tom Hanks? Because guess what she does in You Got Mail? Cheats
and
on her boyfriend.
Greg Kinnear, her
Greg
boyfriend, he's arguably very similar to the Walter character.
They make Greg Kinnear slightly more unlikable in that movie, though. In some like strange ways,
because he's very like know-it-all, kind of obnoxious. Like
he's a Ben Shapiro type.
Oh,
yeah, which sucks. 'Cause, well, actually, Greg Kinnear plays that character a lot, which is weird because I actually really like Greg Kinnear. He's just very charming. I don't know, but yeah.
Sure.
But I was prepared to talk about You Got Mail and the sus aspects of Meg Ryan in that movie. And Meg Ryan is just way more sus in this movie. They toned it down a lot more for You Got Mail.
I don't understand how you're saying Meg Ryan is sus when like Tom Hanks like straight up.
Oh no, they're both
sus.
sus. They're both sus. Both sus in that movie. It's weird.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Because Tom Hanks is lying to her, but she's lying to her. Are they engaged in that movie?
No,
or are they just dating?
Together.
They're just dating. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But she literally says in the movie, she asks her friend, "Is it cheating if it's through email?" Which is like, if you have to ask, Meg Ryan.
Yeah, and then but then her friend is like, "Oh, you're having cyber sex?" And she says, "No." And then she's like, "Oh, well, you don't do that because it's weird." And I was like, good advice.
Solid advice.
Yeah. But I could go into like a whole sociological conversation about how like you're allowed to still be with your partner and think about if they are the right person for you and potentially talk to other people. But if it feels like you're cheating, then yeah, maybe you're cheating. Like
if you have to hide in a broom closet while you do it.
I kind of wish she wasn't hiding in a broom closet. Like I feel like she it could have just been like, "Hey, I'm doing an article on these radio shows and I need to listen to this radio
That was
show."
the weird thing to me. I kept waiting for this movie to get to the point where she was going to actually, because that's how a normal rom-com would go, is like they would like be like, "Hey, write about this thing," and then she gets super involved learning about the guy, falls in love with him. That doesn't happen.
That is actually a good point too. What I thought of is, what if they pulled like a Never Been Kissed and she turns her weird crazy obsession with him into like, so the story is like, I didn't know what I was doing with my life and now I ended up getting with Sleepless in Seattle, and it becomes like a national sensation.
That would have been good.
That would have been good.
Right?
That would have been sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Gotta make that content, on that grind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Tom Hanks' wife shows up as a ghost or something in part of this movie. That's fucking weird.
Wait, what?
He's sitting on the couch and his wife just shows up and talks to him.
Rita Wilson for a second, and I was like, "Is that a ghost?"
No, Rita Wilson just shows up to cry a lot.
Yeah, the wife with that scene is actually like, it gets kind of creepy because like he says something to her and then it just pans back to the actress being the ghost and she's just like deadpan like staring at him, and it actually kind of creeps me out.
It was super weird.
She had like no emotion in her eyes. Like it was, I wasn't a fan.
Was it a dream or was that a ghost?
He's like daydreaming because the whole thing is that he doesn't sleep. And so he's just up at night and he's like, and then when Jonah has that nightmare, this is the one scene that made me cry today watching this, is when Jonah has the nightmare and Tom Hanks goes up to him and Jonah's like, "I'm starting to forget Mom." That made me cry.
I like that part a lot. Tom Hanks's response to that is fucking crazy.
No. It's not crazy.
No. You know why it's crazy? Because it's a like super sweaty exposition of like hey, earlier in the movie, we're going to really focus on Meg Ryan peeling this apple. And I remember watching the movie and being like, I remember watching that scene just going like, wow, why is she peeling that? And I just eat
Yes.
the apple. And then he's like, I'm starting to forget Mom. And Tom Hanks' reaction to that is, she used to peel an apple all the way around in one big loop.
I'm really upset right now that you're laughing at this. It's not like he doesn't mean like, oh yeah, like when's Mom's birthday? I don't remember. Like Tom Hanks is trying to give life to like remembering the spirit and personality of the mom, the little details about a
But
person
somebody had
are
to
what
sit
matters.
down and write the part of the movie of like, okay, what's like an endearing thing that we can make both
It's
women
probably something
do?
that one of the writers' grandparents used to do or something, and like maybe that's something that they always thought about with their dead grandma, and we're like, oh, this is cute, I'm gonna put this in a thing in the movie, and now you're here laughing about it.
Oh,
It's
no,
such a
I don't-
sweaty setup and payoff.
It's not.
I don't
It's
know.
cute.
Cry or laugh. I'm so conflicted.
No, and then what amps up the funniness of the is that it goes into like a montage sequence after that, and they play a song in that sequence, right? Which is it's something about a blackbird or whatever.
Bye bye Blackbird.
Oh yeah.
Bye Bye Blackbird.
Blackbird. Mm-hmm.
Because Jonah tells Tom Hanks that his mom used to play Blackbird for him when he couldn't sleep, right?
Mm-hmm.
But scene before that, Jonah is talking about the Beatles. So the screenwriter obviously wrote the sequence to have Blackbird by the Beatles play, and they couldn't afford Blackbird by the Beatles, so they play a different song that has Blackbird in the title.
I don't know if that's accurate. I don't know.
It might not be.
That's not the song. He's talking about Bye Bye Blackbird is like a nursery rhyme. It's not the Beatles.
No, I think he says he's like, what's the song she used to play for you? He says
No,
Blackbird.
Bye
And the scene
Bye
before,
Blackbird.
he's talking about the White Album, which has Blackbird on it.
He's not talking about the White Album. He's talking about Sgt. Pepper's because he says, "Hey, did you know if you play this album backwards, it says Paul is dead?" That's Sgt. Pepper, and Blackbird is not
Sgt.
on
Pepper?
that album.
I thought it was on. I thought it was
2 hours
on.
ago. Jose.
I thought it was on Revolution #9 that they do the Paul is Dead thing, which is.
I don't know that. I didn't prepare notes for the Beatles discography. I thought it was Sgt. Pepper. But no, Bye Bye Blackbird is like Bye Bye. It's let me freaking look it up. But it's not the same song. Shout out in the comments if you agree with me or Jose.
It was. I keep trying to find the album, and the Wikipedia page is too long.
Yeah, no, I looked it up too, and yeah, there's too much. What are you guys doing with your lives that you're putting this much work into cataloging a very stupid rumor?
Okay, so yeah, there's a nursery rhyme. It says, "Sing a song of sixpence, a pocket full of rye, 4 and 20 blackbirds baked in a pie." It's a mess. I mean, we all know that old nursery rhymes are fucked up. Okay, we know this. I'm not.
I think he was
saying
talking
that
about
it's
the
a
Beatles
good
song Blackbird.
I'm just saying I'm pretty sure that that's the song.
But
he's
also,
referencing.
the lyrics of Blackbird work thematically to the movie, because the opening words of
and that would also
Blackbird.
be a nice, a more calming song to sing to your infant child.
Yes. I
Like,
think it
have a
checks out that they
nightmare.
wrote it with the intentions of it being the Beatles song Blackbird. Because the opening lines of Blackbird, right? Blackbird singing the dead of night, sleepless in Seattle, the dead of night, take these broken wings and learn to fly. That's what the movie's about.
That was creepy. Thanks for that. And unless it comes for like the writer's like blog post, I can't.
Nora Ephron is a
believe
famous
that.
blogger. She blogs a lot.
Okay, but she has now sadly passed, and we can't ask her.
Wait,
I've not read her
really?
memoir. Yeah.
Oh no.
We can
years
ask Rob
ago.
Reiner. Tweet at Rob Reiner. Ask him if they were trying to get Blackbird by the Beatles.
Can we get
All
Rob
right.
Reiner on this show?
Probably not.
I like how like way earlier, an hour ago, you were like, "Oh yeah, we should really get Steven Spielberg," and you're just like, "Yeah."
I
And
think
now
we get
you're like-
Spielberg.
but you're unsure about Rob Reiner.
Yeah, Rob Reiner seems like he doesn't do a lot these days. Spielberg's still making movies.
Yeah, so I feel like it'd be a lot easier to get Rob Reiner.
He's on Twitter.
He is on Twitter. He tweets a lot.
I wonder if any of the writers do make
does?
cameos, because you could pay for a cameo and it just be like, "Hey, I have this question about this movie."
Do an hour-long episode of HBO Max with us, thanks. Big cameo.
Okay, so where do we go from here?
I've gone through all my notes.
I have one more note. Oh no, I don't. I already talked about it. I've gone through all my notes.
Well, there we go. Kait,
I'm
what
sure
notes do you
Kait
have?
probably has more notes.
Yeah, Kate took a
I
lot
have
more notes than we did.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, I feel like a lot of this you won't appreciate, but
I weeped through a lot of this movie.
Wait, you did? What parts made you weep?
Oh, you know, the sad,
It's like the dead mom thing.
yeah, the dead mom thing, and then I cried at the end because they finally were reunited, and I always lost kids make me cry. So I
That
cried.
it is really sad when they like zoom in on him like just sitting against the wall, and it's just like, I
Yeah,
really hope
like-
he packed a sandwich in that bag, because I'm like, this
Yeah.
kid has been up there for like 12 hours by himself. Like,
Were the first was the first line of this movie "So Mom died"?
I think
it was something like she got really sick, like mom got really sick, or like she got
Okay.
really sick and then
Okay.
she was gone,
Okay.
like something like that.
Yeah, I cried during
Yeah.
that part too. I was in a really weepy mood when I watched this.
Yeah, I had actually already cried earlier today listening to a Taylor Swift song, and so I was already like emotional.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I've been
Mm.
watching This Is Us, so like I'm drop of a hat, I'm crying.
I literally have like 3 more episodes of the show to watch, and I'm like putting it off because I don't want the show to end, because I love
I
it
just
so
started
much.
season 3, and it's
So
I
good. Oh my god, we should
can't so
we
much.
should talk about This Is Us later.
Um,
Okay, so I think the main thing I want to talk about, like the one thing that I love about this movie, is the scene of his friends coming to visit and then her getting weepy talking about An Affair to Remember, which I learned earlier today was like partly improvised by Rita Wilson. And then the scene of Tom Hanks and Victor Garber like talking about The Dirty Dozen and like crying over that was entirely
That was
improvised.
yes,
And
so
I
good.
love that so much.
Mhm.
But like I love like the I don't know if juxtaposition is the right word, but like, you know, An Affair to Remember gets brought up a lot, and you know, at first it's the men at Meg Ryan's office that's like, ugh, like women in that movie, and then when she's weepy talking about An Affair to Remember, Tom Hanks is like, that's a chicks movie, like I don't know about that. And then I just love that they're like sobbing over this, like, you know, I
What
don't
a
know what The Dirty Dozen's
strange
about.
movie to
Yeah.
pick. Because I looked into it, and
Have
like
you
one.
seen Dirty Dozen?
Oh no, Dirty Dozen. Yeah, Dirty Dozen fucking slaps.
Did
That
you
movie
cry when
was
you watched
So
that
you're
awesome.
talking
movie?
about It's
Mhm.
Weird and Unfair to Remember. Is what
Yeah,
you're-
Affair to Remember, because I went and looked it up. Affair to Remember like wasn't a big hit or anything. Like it was like it made $3 million on a $2 million budget or whatever. It's like not one of Gene Kelly's big movies. Like, so it's weird that they chose that for like in this. My mom remembered almost every single detail about the movie, except for that she couldn't remember what Affair to Remember was. She thought it was Breakfast at Tiffany's. Like, it's weird that they picked this movie that like it's not a popular movie. Like, people outside of Sleepless in Seattle, it's not a movie anybody ever talks about. So it's weird that like they decided to go with that. I wonder if it was just like the touchstone of like the Empire State Building, like Meet Me at the Top of the Empire State Building. But this movie has like, this movie is so popular that when people talk about that, like people meeting at the top of the Empire State Building, it's always in reference to Sleepless in Seattle. People never reference it as a thing from
Mhm.
An Affair to Remember. It's just weird that they like focused in on that movie is like, what if
Here we
everybody in the world was obsessed with this movie?
That's interesting. Yeah, I don't know.
Every woman can quote this movie all the way through.
I mean, again, like maybe it was just a movie that Nora Ephron really loved and, you know, wanted to
Well, it would have been
use.
the dude, whatever his name. I can't remember his name, but he apparently the idea for this movie came off of An Affair to Remember. And I think there was something about it. It might have gotten started as a remake of Affair to Remember, because An Affair to Remember itself is actually a remake of another movie. Yeah.
Just like how You've Got Mail is a remake from The Shop Around the Corner.
Didn't know that.
Did you know that?
Did not know
So
that.
there's an old movie from some year in the 50s or 60s called The Shop Around the Corner, which is a very similar storyline. And then in You've Got Mail, her children's bookstore is called The Shop Around the Corner. So it's cute.
Neat.
There we go.
Neat. Yeah.
Neat.
I wish we could talk about You've Got Mail.
Next year.
Yeah.
Part 2. I'll be ready.
I think You Got Mail is a much better movie than this. And this is the movie that's more
100%.
popular. Like, this is the movie that's like more well remembered of the Meg Ryan, Tom Hanks movies. I think You Got Mail is a better movie. And I would say, like, of the Nora Ephron like rom-coms from the early 90s, this I think is like, I think When Harry Met Sally
When Harry
is
Met
better.
Sally is like I feel like more people know When Harry Met Sally, followed by Sleepless in Seattle, followed by
Sleepless in Seattle is Sleepless in Seattle gets referenced so much and stuff though. It's like the more like big pop culture icon. Like they do like any like fucking what was that movie? No, How I Met Your Mother. They do like a whole episode about that where Ted's got the Empire State Building in his house and he's recreating Sleepless in Seattle. And it's just brought up all the time because I mean it's one of like I think you had it in your notes, right, Makenna? It was like the first really big rom-com.
Yeah, it was the one of the most successful rom-coms in box office history. It was the highest at the time. Yeah.
Crazy.
You've Got Mail. Is that the one with what's the movie? Because I don't think it's You've Got Mail anymore. What's the movie with the woman in the computer?
Her? Oh wait.
I don't know.
Wait. A woman in
Describe
the computer?
woman in the computer a little bit more for
That's all
me.
I've got.
Give us a little
She's
more
like-
information.
Hold on, I'm becoming less and less
Like the
confident
woman
that this
is a computer or she's in the
She's like-
computer?
the computer.
Okay, that's her.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
That's her.
So it's not You've Got Mail.
No, You've Got Mail is a movie
No.
where Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan are emailing each other, and then also Tom Hanks ruins her bookstore.
Oh.
Yeah, so Meg Ryan owns like a really her mother's independently owned small children's bookstore, and Tom Hanks comes from a family that basically owns like a Barnes and Noble type store. And his store they open a location like 2 blocks away from hers, and so like in real life she hates him,
right,
but then she goes home at night and is emailing this guy that she's falling in love with about like her work struggles and all that. And it's so good. It's such a good movie.
I need to see this movie.
Everyone needs to watch Sleepless in Seattle, and then you immediately need to watch You've Got Mail.
Yeah.
Especially around this time. You've Got Mail is the perfect autumn movie. Okay?
Okay.
It just is. It just, it's so
Other Nora Ephron movies, bit hit or miss. You ever see Michael?
No.
That's the movie where John Travolta's an angel.
Like Michael the
No.
Archangel?
Yes, he is
She
the
also
Archangel
has
Michael.
a movie called Lucky Numbers with John Travolta and Lisa Kudrow. I feel like I saw this movie once as a kid, but I don't remember anything about it. And it looks
I don't
not
remember this
good.
at all. Yeah, that looks terrible. I mean,
It looks
Le-
not good.
so Lisa
It has a
Kudrow has like
22% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Lisa Kudrow has like one good movie. which is
What's wrong with that movie? I exclusively
what's
watch
the
it
high
with
school
friends, and that's
reunion?
it.
What's that called? Romy and
Oh,
Michelle's
Romy
high
and
school reunion.
Michelle!
Yeah,
Oh
that
my God,
movie,
yes.
banger. She also wrote the 2005 Bewitched. That movie sucks.
That I like that movie,
she
but I
she
know
directed
I
it
know
as
it's
well.
not good, but I like that movie.
She did write and direct Julie and Julia, and that movie slaps.
Oh,
That movie's kind of weird, but it's okay.
it's got Meryl Streep in it. She might be my number one actress.
Yeah,
Ooh.
Meryl Streep playing Julia Child.
Yeah, I haven't seen a lot
You
of
wanna-
these.
Oh, hello!
The thing with Julie and Julia, I loved if it was like only the
She
Meryl
does that
Streep
voice the
portion
entire
of that
movie, Mac. It's
movie.
crazy.
Oh yeah, Stanley Tucci. Wait,
Oh yeah, Tooch,
Tucci.
the Tooch.
He's number 6. Stanley Tucci.
Yeah, Stanley Tucci plays her husband in that.
You can't have a list with Tony Shalhoub and not include Stanley Tucci.
Mhm.
The Tooch.
The Big
Tooch.
Night.
Oh, the Big Night. We should watch
I need to reach the Big Night. I really, really.
So
it's been too long.
The Big Night. Great movie.
I know. I know.
Great
I
flick.
got it. I gotta rewatch it. It's so good. Ah, man, movies.
Movie.
Movies are great.
You got any more notes, Cait? Any more things?
I'm afraid if I say anything else, you're just gonna tear down my dreams of
No.
like I don't know. Let me see.
Does Meg Ryan live in Baltimore in this movie? I couldn't tell.
Yes.
I think
She
so.
does?
Yeah, she writes for the Baltimore Sun.
Okay.
Oh.
Because the baseball stuff in this movie confused me quite a bit. Because it opens with Tom Hanks going to a Chicago Cubs game, but then his favorite player is a Baltimore Oriole. That was weird.
Well, yeah, but then he says like, "Oh, everyone loves that guy," so it made it sound like at that time that player was just like a nationally known good player. I don't know sports, so I don't know, but
I had to look the guy up. I don't know. he's not one of the 90s baseball players whose name gets dropped all the time. It's just weird. Like his favorite player's from Baltimore. That's just, I don't know. He's a Cubs fan. Living in Seattle. Seattle, actually Seattle, 90s Seattle, not good baseball teams, but.
How many baseball teams they got over there?
Baseball teams?
Yeah.
Seattle or the United States? What question are
Wait,
you
what
asking?
did you say? Wait.
what is happening?
I mean in terms of like the Seattle Mariners
Oh.
fielded teams every year,
I'm
different
caught up.
players. Bad. I was confused about what question you were asking.
Yeah, I was too. Don't worry. I'm sorry. Keep going.
But and then like they got permission from the MLB to just put the Mariners logo. I guess the Mariners were decently new at the time, I think, if I'm remembering that right. But yeah, the M's all over the place in this movie. Weird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, big fan of the M's. Seattle. Never been.
Get definitely they had to get one scene in there of Tom Hanks walking in the rain with an umbrella because it's Seattle.
It's Seattle.
The rest of the time
Rains-
not raining, but they needed one scene where he walks in the
you
rain
know?
so you don't forget it's not Seattle.
Rains 9 months of the year.
Yeah, and again, this movie takes place in January
Yeah.
and February. And
the 3 months.
they're out on the beach and it's like a beautiful day.
It's
Well, apparently it's
apart
Labor
from
Day.
like the one time that it rains in this movie, every time they're walking around Seattle, it's just like, oh man, it's perfect weather out there.
Yeah.
January.
Yeah, again, it's just like the labor.
It's
Day
hard to
thing,
shoot in
there
the
are some
rain.
loopholes.
It's hard to shoot in the rain.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah.
Amazing.
Another weird thing about that scene is that like the housing,
Dude, his house is sick.
but there's like weird because when he walks into that, when he walks out in that shot where he's pouring down rain, he checks his mailbox, right? And there's a bunch of mailboxes lined up, and it looks like he's walking into like an
Oh.
apartment building where there's a bunch of like houses next to each other. But every time you look at his house, it's just this fucking awesome house that's on like the bay.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Maybe it's mailboxes for people who like live on their boats.
maybe I imagine that there was just like
Boat mailboxes.
I imagined that just like the actual shooting process, it was like they use 2 different locations to shoot like the exteriors versus the.
And in You've Got Mail, Tom Hanks' character has a boat, and at one point is like living on the boat or like sleeping on the boat. It's so
It's all
again, it's
connected.
the connections. There's so many.
Everything's connected.
How weird is it they just kept running movies back with Meg Ryan? There's like Harry Met Sally, that was great. Meg Ryan, get your back. Okay, Meg, huge success. Let's run it back. You and Tom Hanks, we'll do it again.
Think we can get Meg Ryan?
If we get Jack Quaid,
Shit, that's right.
just be like, hey, dude, get your mom on the show.
Yeah. Let's talk to your mom real quick?
Oh my god.
Why not, Gotta get Meg. Did you have any final notes, Cait, that you want to discuss?
No, nothing specific. I
Okay.
think, like talking it out with you guys, is this movie perfect? No. But
so
I
sorry.
think what it lacks in common sense, it makes up for with the writing and the co-stars and Jonah and like the references. Like I love the meta of them being in a rom-com talking about classic romantic movies and and Meg Ryan fighting between like logic over romance.
Mhm.
Like I don't know, I like it.
Yeah.
And again, I know it's not perfect, but very few movies are.
I like this
So-
movie. Okay, I feel like it needs. I really like this
Tell me your
movie.
favorite things about this movie, Jose, because I feel like you've only
Okay,
been talking
okay.
about the things that don't make
Just
sense.
a little secret when you're doing movie podcasts. It's very hard to talk about good movies on a podcast. Like when a movie is just like generally good, there's not much to do besides sit around and be like, "That was good, wasn't it? Yeah, that was good. That was good, wasn't it? Yeah,
and
that
that's
was
what
good."
I was prepared to do. I have 3 pages of notes of like amazing quotes and moments from this movie. That's what I did. That's how I
Oh.
prepared.
It's amazing. You're
Yeah.
amazing, Cait. I
But
love
yeah,
you.
this movie's really good.
Yeah.
It slaps. Watch it.
It slaps.
It's a little weird when you like actually think about like what's happening in the film. It's strange. It works on a lot of the sort of logic we don't really do in rom-coms anymore because it's very trite and sort of played out. I do think that this movie is very it's hard for me to buy in on the actual like believing in the relationship when they just don't spend any time together. That's such a strange and like it's not even like You Got Mail. They don't spend a lot of time together, but they're constantly talking to each other in that movie. This movie is just this. It's just 2 people living completely different lives, and then they're just like together at the end of the movie. It's such a strange way to make a movie, and I would like a sequel.
So that's what you liked about it?
What did I like about this movie? All the performances
Yes,
are great.
What I asked you. and
I'm
you
not, I was
just
giving
let
an
us-
explanation about my thoughts on the movie. We're doing wrap up.
This is wonderful.
What do I like about this movie? The directing, for the most part, is very, very good. There's some stuff in like the maps are weird in this movie. I don't know what the decision was with the maps.
I love that. I actually wrote that. I'm like, why? I love that the intro is like this, like a high school type, like this map of the United
It opens
States.
and closes the film, and then like
Yeah,
anytime they
and then
hop on a
Tom Hanks
plane, it
has
cuts back to
one.
the map.
Yeah,
Just
they
in
have to be like,
case.
oh, Meg Ryan's flying from Baltimore to Seattle.
It's funny, like anytime Jonah reads a letter, it's like they're afraid the audience might not understand, like, and he's got to point it on the map and be like, "Look how far away it is! Isn't that insane?"
20 Caits.
This movie is about geography, if nothing else. Okay.
They really were like, don't forget, United States, big.
Mhm.
The Listen, if I was a
Um,
geography teacher, I would play this movie. Yeah. Geography. Go on. I'm sorry. Keep going.
Writing super solid in this movie. All the characters are very, very likable. Almost to a fault, because I like all the characters, and I'm upset that they have to go through bad things for some of them. The shot selection in this movie is really, really good.
Yes.
Like the scene of them sitting on the little wooden bench in their apartment with the kid asleep, and they both got phones. That's a really good shot. All like the exterior scenes in Seattle that they actually shot, really good locations. It's very like nuts and bolts, just like just the because like this is Nora Ephron's first directing job, right? So she's working with like, she's not pulling out any fancy tricks in this movie, right? You're not getting anything crazy or anything, but it's like it's a very like, yeah, it all just works. That's good. I like movies that are like directed very basically, but like don't feel boring.
That's always good.
Well, I'm glad. Thank you for naming some positive things about the movie. I feel a lot better now.
Yeah.
Oh, the shot, Meg Ryan walking with the street lamps, and it's all like rode out. Great shot. Excellent
It's a
shot.
good shot.
Super
It's a very
good.
good shot. Yes, I love a good shot. Love a good shot. You know, I'm just a sucker. I'm a hopeless romantic, so I loved this. I thought it was adorable, a little creepy, but adorable. You know, what's adorable? What's adorableness without a little creepiness? You know, it's fine.
All rom-coms have like a sort of inherent creepiness to them.
Exactly. Right. It's a
weird.
sign of a good rom-com. Creepiness. It's fine.
Not When Harry Met Sally though. When Harry Met Sally's perfect.
Oh yeah, no, 100%, 100%.
Nothing creepy happens in that movie.
No, never.
That's romance building over like 15 years.
Yeah, you gotta let it stew, baby.
It's not
Yeah.
really,
Go watch Sleepless in Seattle. Cait, where can people find you on the internet?
Oh, you can find me on Twitter, CaitRose92. I am on Twitch as CaitRose92. Don't really stream, but I hang out there a lot. I maybe will stream like twice a year. So there's that. And I also have my own podcast that you can find on YouTube and all other podcast listening services called Ridiculous Passions. You can go to youtube.com/ridiculouspassions, where I talk about things I'm passionate about with my friend Joe Medforce and guests like you guys. So
Us.
yeah.
What?
Yeah, remember we did my podcast that one time? That was fun.
Wow.
Whoa.
Thank you so much for having me. Again, I'm really sad we didn't get to exclusively talk about You Got Mail, but I'm really
Next
excited
time.
to be on
It will happen.
Oh yeah,
You
no.
Got Mail
I've been
cast
excited to be
will
on
happen.
this podcast for pretty much as long as I'd first learned about it. So yeah, I'm very excited, and thank you for having me. And I can't wait to be back to talk about You've Got Mail at some point in the future.
Thank you for being on. We loved having you here. I'm sorry you and Brandon had a fight in the middle of the episode.
It's okay. No, it was constructive criticism, and it was more just like a logical debate. Like I appreciated the points.
After you watch the movie, just don't stalk anybody, okay? That's all I'm asking. Just don't stalk anybody.
It's a good.
Hey, it's a lot easier to stalk people now, okay? Like
It is. She
we're in a
wouldn't
whole
have
new
to.
era.
She wouldn't have to ask for a background check.
No.
He would
Yeah,
have an
she'd just look 'em
Instagram
up on
account.
Facebook. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like it'd be easy.
So many places.
There would
This
be
is one of those 90s movies where it is like the plot just doesn't exist today. Because like one, who's calling into a radio show? You don't have to stalk this person. Everybody would know this. This would be like a Twitter post that would blow up with like a
It
million
would be like a
likes.
Twitter thread or like some BuzzFeed article. Like it would, yeah. It would not be a radio show. But you know,
Amazing.
that's what I love about 90s movies in particular. Like, I don't
They're
know.
amazing.
Because we were just on the cusp of the internet, you know, so like they were getting into interesting territory. So
Yes.
yeah.
So good. Speaking of stalking, Brandon, where can people find you on the internet?
Um, well, with that lead in,
Nowhere.
don't find me on the internet.
Listen, I'm not good at segues. We know this.
That was an amazing segue.
At Jose Ruckus all over the place. Whatever. Follow me or don't. I don't care.
Oh my gosh. Makenna, where can people find you?
Oh, me? You can find me on Twitter at PotterPants212. I do things like this show. Go follow it also on Twitter at HBO Max, HBO Maks. Brandon's really good at it.
Oh, we're doing themed months
We
now.
are doing themed months.
Yeah.
Love a theme.
So next month is going to be Film Bro month.
Yes, I'm very excited.
no.
I haven't seen any of these movies.
Yeah, we're gonna run through some Film Bro classics,
Very
stuff
excited.
that 18-year-olds think is super deep.
Are you allowed to say like what's some
Oh
of the
yeah,
movies
so
are?
we're doing Pulp Fiction by Quentin Tarantino. We're doing
Oh,
The
okay.
Aviator by Martin Scorsese. We are doing American Psycho by can't remember the director. And what's the other one we're doing?
Memento.
Memento by Christopher Nolan. Memento pretty like honestly, like spoilers for Film Bro month. These are 4 bangers. So
Oh, I haven't seen any of them, you know. I'm ready. Christian Bale, Batman.
I watched Memento in a college film class. That's when I first watched
Oh.
it. So,
Interesting.
you know,
Gonna need a lot of
fancy.
McKenna editing notes for that one.
Is Memento the one?
It's the mint
Never-
candy.
No, that's not where I was going with that, but okay. Memento has a thing that I'll know it if I see it. I will get back to it. Forget I said it.
We're gonna review the movie.
This is a great closer to the.
Yeah.
To the
Oh,
this
yeah,
episode.
no.
Yeah, these episodes just keep getting longer and longer.
They really do. So yeah, thanks for watching. Go watch Sleepless in Seattle. Don't stalk people. Thanks.